Hello, my darling diamonds in the rough. I'm your favorite talking stone, and this is episode 50 of Daily Puzzles. And man, what a wonderful ride it has been. And for a while, at the very least, this will be the end of the daily puzzle streams. So, let's make it a good one. Big number 50 on the board. Let us begin with, of course, our first, I was going to say favorite, but first, the Wordle. Lovely. Right. Our favorite starting word is jazzy. Let's see what that nets us. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, that is. 50 tries and Jazzy Gambit hasn't worked once. But it's still our favorite starting word. And we get a T from thing. Maybe we can go plots. Plots on a graph. Plots on a land. Ooh, we got a T and an S. Maybe... No way! Oh, I was going to say no way. I was going to say stone. Unfortunately, we already used the N. I still want to put stone, though. I'll put stove instead. Because that fits. Oh! We got the first three, and we only have 2 guesses left to get the last 2. I'm thinking stock, like maybe you would stock a shelf or something? Oh my, we are missing the last 2 letters. Come on, this is the last Wordle for a long time. Maybe not a long time, but this is the last round of Daily Puzzles. We have to get this on the nice edge. My first think is storm. But it could also be stout. Or S-T-O-R... I was going to say store, but nah, yeah. It's either stout or storm. Wow, we faced a gambit like this before, with even worse odds, 1 in 3, but... Oh boy. I'm leaning storm. But stout. I just have to try to think, which is the more popular word, which is more likely to be included in the, how you say... the answer puzzle, not the answer puzzle, the list of answers for Wordle. And honestly, they both could be, because stout, people love their alcoholic stouts, but storm, you know what, Marvel Rivals came out recently. By recently, I mean like probably a month or 2 ago. We're going storm. If we're wrong, we're wrong. If we're right, we're right. But it would be so fitting for our first failure to be in our last episode. But it would also be so wonderful if our first and 50th success was on our last episode. So let us see what it is. Oh, no. Wow. That is devastating. And it's stood even. It's not even stout or storm. It's stood. Wow. Our first failure. Wow. That is... I can't... Wow, our first failure in 50 episodes. In 50 of these videos. Our first failure. I can't help but laugh. It is quite fitting that our first failure is on the last episode. Or at least the last consecutive episode. Actually, even if we go back to this, it won't be daily puzzles. It'll be occasional puzzles anymore. Man, our first failure. That's hilarious. But, we can't mull this over too long. We have to continue, and continue we will with the connection. And continue we will with the mini. I did not flub that up. I did not flub it. We roll. We roll with the punches. We roll with it. We roll with it. Right. Lack of practice, metaphorically, the unexperienced, unskilled, unacquainted with. Fortunately, those are way too long for a 4-letter. A lack of practice, metaphorically, is also interesting. The width of your thumb, if you need a rough approximation, an inch. For a second, I thought it was going to be, like, inch. Sorry. Yeah, I used to use the width of my thumb for inches in grade school and grammar school. But then I realized that in my adult life, there rarely is use for a ruler measuring tape. I mean, I still have one in my room, but I don't really use it. There's no need for us to really count inches. Okay, well there is, but, you know, just not recreationally like you would in grammar school. Regardless, we'll continue. 6 across. It has many private entries. This is entries or entrees? No, it's entries, not entrees. I was trying to think, maybe it's food, but no. No, it's entrees is spelled differently from entrees. Entrees? Entries. Oh my. Many private entries. I don't know. A disc golfer's obstacle. Is this golf? I'm trying to see. I might be. No, I am confusing it with. I forget what the other sport is called, where it's basically like disc football, American football, not British football, not British football, not football everywhere else in the world. I don't know why I say British. British is the reason why it's called soccer in the first place. Specifically, Oxford University. Oh boy, Oxford University. You guys are some rascals. You know, you had this whole thing with, you know, association football, but you wanted to call it ASOC because you thought you were cool. Then you dropped the A, and then you added the because Oxford always had that little, not always, you had that little fit of being cool and edgy and just adding ER to the end of words to make them cuter or whatever. And that's where we got soccer from. Oxford University. So I apologize. I was referring to football. Which is American football, not the rest of the world football. Which, rest of the world, barring, you know, England, just because they're the reason it's called soccer here. They are the reason. Oxford University is the reason. They're forgiven, though. I like soccer more than... No, football is a better name. I was going to pretend that soccer was a better name. It's not. It's not. Football is a better name, but... it is whatever. Disc golfer's obstacle... I don't know what the obstacle is. Tree? Maybe? I don't know. Never seen a full game of disc golf. I don't think I've ever seen a full game of golf either. Huh, interesting. Emoji that can mean I'm intrigued. Thinking like maybe the wide-eyed one, but... like go... I don't know. Dispose of. Dispose to bin? As in toss in the bin? Or to rid? It's probably rid, not bid. Rid it is. Well, maybe. We don't know. Let us continue. To bring together. Connect. But unfortunately that doesn't start with an... or it doesn't have an N as the second letter. Unite! Does, though. Unite fits. Unite is wonderful. Like graveyards at night. Oh, that's a little bit terrifying. Graveyards at night. Well, not terrifying, but it's definitely a good setting for like a horror film. But I can't think of anything. I only have been to the graveyard in daytimes when the sun's out. Because there's not really lights at graveyards. At least not the ones that I visited. But like graveyards at night. Empty... dead? That's a bit of an insensitive joke. But yeah, I can't think of anything. So we'll continue. Shortest number of letters for New York Times crossword answer. 3, apparently. We don't see 3 here, we only see 4 here, but 3 is the only number large enough that fits. Large enough in terms of letter length. Large enough and small enough in terms of numerical length. That's confusing to say out loud, but we'll continue. Yes, totally with you. Why I spelled Tess, I don't know. Lack of practice, metaphorically, runt. Maybe runt, I'm not sure. Diary has many private entries, and emoji that can mean I'm intrigued is eyes. So close, but at least one square is missing. Okay. Runt might be wrong. And it is wrong because of this. Can't be an N there if it's followed by C. Like graveyard shifts at night. Scary. And rust, as in lack of practice. Lovely. relatively fast, and we didn't even need to use auto check. That's a nice little way to end the puzzle. Please forgive me. I need some water. Give me a moment. A moment has passed. I have drank my water. Drunk, consumed. Consumed. That's a nice word. We consume things here. I have consumed my water, and now we can move on to the New York Times connections. Right, let us begin. Case, I'm thinking maybe a case of beverages, or maybe a legal case. Mantle, I'm thinking of Mickey Mantle, or the mantle of a house, like by a fireplace. Sauce, I'm thinking maybe tomato sauce, maybe a nice marinara sauce. I don't know, a compliment to food. Core, I'm thinking very dire to, like a core element of. Or the core of a reactor? Something like that. Crust. Oh, going along with mantle, this is like layers of the earth. There's the crust, there's the mantle, and there's other things. It could be that, but we don't know. We'll continue. 40. Well, that's a score. Huh. So maybe this could mean synonyms from score? I think we had score, the word score, the other day, though. So that would be confusing. But yeah, 40. Thinking score. I'm thinking middle of one's life, or I'm thinking just a number. Trunk, I'm thinking maybe swim trunks or the trunk of a car. Yeah. Trout, I'm thinking Mike Trout, which sort of goes along with Mickey Mantle. Mike and Mickey are different names. Or trout as a fish. And if there's sports players whose first names start with M, and I do see other sports players here like Barry Bonds, but we'll continue. Sports players, baseball players specifically. But yes, we'll continue. Torso, part of the body of the torso. That's really all I think of. Young. Maybe it's, sports player's name, I know, Trae Young. There is probably a baseball player called something Young, but I'm not familiar with them. Or at least not a popular one I'm familiar with. But we'll continue. 6-pack, that makes me think case, like, of alcoholic beverages, or beverages in general. Or 6-pack, like abs that are on your torso? Abdominal region, the core. Oh, could be that. That actually. Oh, and I see midriff too, so that could be that area, that lower chest area. We'll continue. Cheese. I'm thinking literal cheese, or I'm thinking to cheese something, to exploit, to scam, whatever you want to say. Speaking of cheese, I don't know if I talked about this, but I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about the American cheese caves. Now, if you are familiar with the stigma of American cheese, specifically, American cheese, like the slices of American cheese, rather than just cheese produced in America, you're like, America does not have a deep and well executed cheese game. But that line of thinking, from my understanding at least, is misled. Yes, American cheese exists because, exists in a way where some places technically don't call it cheese because I believe it's like a conglomeration of older cheese or whatever. But the reason why it exists is because America has tons of cheese. I believe the government subsidized the dairy industry in the 1960s or whatever, and that made dairy farmers produce a lot. And what are you going to do with a bunch of dairy? Well, if you just leave it as dairy, it's going to spoil, so why not turn it to cheese? So they did. They turned it to cheese, and they store it in cheese caves, which are essentially just kind of warehouses. But it's cooler just to call them cheese caves, so I'm just going to call them cheese caves, because they're commonly referred to as cheese caves. Just caves full of giant batches and barrels and whatnot of cheese. It's very interesting to think about. All types of cheese, Gouda, Swiss, whatever you want to say. All these types of cheese. And I think, if I do recall, and this could be wrong, editor me will check, but American cheese, like the slices of American cheese, what is called American cheese, which technically some places don't consider cheese at all, whatever you want to say, it's that logic, exists because we have so much cheese in America. We have so much of the cheese caves, and just combining it into that processed cheese and sending it out is just an effective way to use it and to store it as well. Or it could be cheese pizza, because I see toppings down here. Toppings make me think pizza. Bonds, I'm thinking Bonds as in the stock, or Barry Bonds, the baseball player, which goes along with the three we said before. Midriff, lower chest area, and Growler. Oh, this could be a baseball player as well. I'm not sure, but it sounds like a last name. But let us do midriff, torso, six-pack, and core for abdominal area. One away, of course we are one away. Oh my. Oh my. Core, torso, six-pack, midriff. What are we missing for abdominal region? I don't know, but we are one away. Case, crust, 40, mantle, sauce, trunk. No. Alright, so let's leave that in the burner for now. Let's go mantle, crust, anything else for layers of the earth. Sauce, the core of the earth. Anything else? Six-pack cheese. Growler, midriff, bonds, toppings. Ooh. We are close, but this could be a red herring. But I feel like it's too specific to be a red herring, so I'm not really sure. There's the inner core and the outer core. There's the mantle, the crust. What is that other layer called? I forgot what that other layer is called. Wow. Alright, let's move on to maybe Mickey Mantle, Barry Bonds, Mike Trout, and something Growler? One away. Do we try Young? We try Young. There we go. Baseball greats. Bonds, Mantle, Trout, and Young. I'm sorry, Young. I don't remember who you are. I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame multiple times, so I really should know, but I don't. Off the top of my head. Right. Trunk. No, I'm trying to think. Let's see. Cheese pizza. Pizza toppings. No. No. Yeah. Indeed. No. Yes. Sauce of pizza. Cheese of pizza. Toppings of pizza. And crust of pizza. Oh, pizza game. Let's go. Components of a pizza. Nice. And what we'd say before. Core, midriff, six-pack, and one of these. Trunk, growler, 40, torso. No, we said this, didn't we? And we already guessed this, so this will just pop up with, we already guessed this, right? Yeah, we already guessed this. So what could be wrong here? Well, let's try it like this. Maybe a case, a six-pack, a 40, and a trunk for beer? Wow. We are missing yellow, which is the easiest, and blue, which I forget is the second or third easiest. We guessed this, and it said no. Right? Yeah, we already guessed this. We were one away. Maybe growler, and then it's torso, core, midriff, and trunk? You know what? Let's go for it. Whew! Units of beer, and then last but not least, definitely not least, we have central section of the body. Yeah, I usually hear the trunk referred to as like maybe one's rear, but I suppose it fits. Yeah, but that was flirting with danger. Oh my. We definitely pushed the borderline, but we succeeded. We triumphed. And we owe it all to the cheese caves of America. Right, this is actually going a bit faster than usual, which is surprising because, well, actually not surprising, but fitting, because for the last game, I prepared something that might be a bit longer than usual. So I guess it'll balance out. So, let me drink some water, and we can move over to the zebra puzzles. Is this a decent fit? No, things are cut off. We'll go to this. Oh, no, you will give me a moment? Actually, you know what? Editor me will do the spiel. So, zebra puzzles are pretty simple. The goal is to figure out each item in each category and how it matches up with the others. Usually you're trying to find out a simple question, as in which color house the German is in. Now, there are certain rules. Each position gets exactly one item from each category. There are no item repeats within a category. All clues are true, and all clues should be used. You can always use logic. You never have to guess. Next to means immediate neighbors, as in if something is next to something in position 4, that means it is either in position 5 or position 3. And to the right of usually means somewhere to the right of the initial thing. For example, if house 2 is to the right of house 1, that means house 1 has to be somewhere to the left of it, and house 2, as versa, has to be to the right of it. Alright, you get the rules. Now let us begin. Let us begin. The cultivator with 10 inches of bonsai is in the last position. Okay, so we can put 10 inches here. The cultivator with 14 inches of bonsai in the first position. Alright, so we can put that here. The grower displaying an elm bonsai tree has a bonsai that is 14 inches tall. Type is elm, under 14, that's perfect. Cultivator with maple bonsai is in the last position. And you are maple, Mr. 10 inches. The grower displaying a juniper bonsai is in the third position. Lovely. Harold is somewhere to the right of the grower using the pink pot. So we know the pink pot has to be one of the first 3 growers, and Harold is one of the last 3. Oscar is in the second position. Sorry, Oscar is in the second position. And now we also know that grower 1 can't be pink. Well, no, grower 1 can still be pink. It's just somewhere to the right, not next to. Lewis has a bonsai that is 20 inches tall. Now, we have inches and Oscar, but we don't have both open except for grower 3. So, Lewis, you were there with a 20-inch bonsai. Right, the grower using the blue pot is in the first position. Pot is blue. Cultivator with the purple pot is somewhere to the left of the grower whose bonsai is 20 inches tall. That means you are purple. And what is it? Harold is somewhere to the right of the user with the pink pot. Well, pink has to be in the third, which means Harold is in the fourth. Well, Harold is orange in the fourth, I should say. Joseph is blue. Jade, 12 inches. Lovely. Finish the zebra puzzle. Let us move on to round 2. And right, it still fits in. That means we are still good to go. The calligrapher who favors the Spencerian styles in the second position. Okay. The artist who prefers the modern styles in last. Okay, modern. The calligrapher who loves the modern style is on one of the ends. Okay, we have 2 clues for basically the same thing. We didn't really need that, but we'll continue. The calligrapher with the purple shirt is next to the one with the blue shirt. So purple and blue have to be together. Theodore is immediately after the calligrapher whose favorite style is Spencerian. Alright, so Theodore. Teddy, there we go. The calligrapher wearing a blue shirt is at one of the ends. And blue has to be next to purple, so purple is 2 or 3, blue is 1 and 4. The calligrapher in the yellow shirt is immediately after the one who uses acrylic ink. So yellow is in one of these 3, and acrylic ink is in one of the first 3. Robert is in the last position. Artist in the yellow shirt is somewhere to the left of the artist with pearlescent ink. But it's right after the one who uses acrylic ink. So we have acrylic, yellow, then pearlescent. But we'll skip that for now. Artist in the yellow shirt is somewhere to the left of the calligrapher who favors the black letter style. Black letter, okay. That means style 1 is flourishing for calligrapher. And yellow shirt is somewhere to the left of the calligrapher who favors the black letter. So this has to be yellow because black letter's in the third, so yellow's in 2. And then what do we say in 1? Immediately after the one who uses acrylic ink. So acrylic is in the first position. Purple is next to blue, and blue is on one of the ends. So that means blue is end 4 because it has to be next to purple. And purple could not be in end calligrapher 2 because yellow was already there, leaving black for calligrapher 1. Artist in the yellow shirt is somewhere to the left of the artist who uses pearlescent ink. That could be either of them. Zafar prefers carbon ink for his calligraphy. Zafar, carbon, Wyatt in the first position. Calligrapher purple uses pigment. Lovely. And lastly, pearlescent. Calligrapher 4. We beat 2. Now let's move on to 3. Does it fit? It fits. Lovely. Let us begin. More clues, more issues. Well, give me a second. Oh, wow. We are making good time on this. The psychedelic rock band is in its last... Ooh, psychedelic rock. Well, first of all, let's put it in. Genre psychedelic rock. I do like psychedelic rock. Don't listen to it too often, but I do like it. Oh, and also, just so you know, let's say we put Gothic here. It would show up as a red X. So that is a bit of a hint as well. But we are doing psychedelic rock, and we'll continue. The band that started in 1995 is next to the heavy metal band. Alright, we don't know what that is, so we'll continue. Trash metal band is immediately before the band that started in 2015. So trash metal is in one of the first 4, and then 2015 is one of the second. Band from Austria is in the middle position. Alright, country is Austria. The band that likes wheat beer is somewhere between the band that likes Session beer and the heavy metal band, in that order. Alright, so heavy metal has to be band 4 or band 3. Wheat beer has to be band 2 or band 3. And Session beer is band 1 or band 2. Right. Band wearing black clothing started in 1980. Don't know. The Gothic band is immediately after the band that started in 2015. Do we have 2015? So we go Trash 2015 Gothic. That's interesting. The band that likes ale beer is immediately before the band from Norway. We don't know. The band wearing white clothing is somewhere between the band that started in 2000 and the band wearing red clothing. I'm going to skim through this to see if there's any hints that we can immediately put in. Or that relates to psychedelic rock or Austria. Band wearing yellow clothing is one of the ends. Any yellow clothing that we saw? Session? No. Band from Switzerland likes ale beer. Who else likes ale beer? Okay, the band that likes ale beer is immediately before the band from Norway. So it's Norway, then Switzerland. So they're either band 1 and 2 or band 4 and 5. Because Austria is right in the middle. Lovely. Band wearing purple clothing is from Switzerland. Anything with purple? Not that I do recall. The band wearing white clothing somewhere between the band likes ale beer and the band from Austria. In that order. Okay. That means white has to go here. And then, what did it say? Ale beer is first. Lovely. That definitely helps us quite a bit. But let's just read down. The band that likes porter beer is immediately before the band from Italy. So porter beer can't be in band 2. It could be 3 or 4. In Italy, it could be 4 or 5. Band wearing black clothing plays heavy metal. We don't know yet. Band that started 2005 is on one of the ends. 95 is heavy metal. Trash metal band is immediately before. We don't care about that. Wheat beer is between the band that likes Session beer and the heavy metal band. So wheat beer is either in 2 or 3. No, wait. Session beer is 2 or 3. Wheat beer is 3 and 4. And then what is the last 2? Heavy metal band. No. This is heavy metal. Then we have wheat beer. And then what was the beer right before that? Session. Lovely. That fits. Black clothing started in 1980. Gothic band, immediately after the band that started in 2015. Gothic is in the first 2, and 2015 is one of 2015 is one of the first 2. Gothic's either 2 or 3. Lovely. Band likes ale beer is immediately before the band from Norway. Oh, so we can put Norway in. Lovely. Band wearing white clothing is somewhere between the band that started 2000, years 2000, and the band wearing red clothing. In that order, but red clothing could be anywhere to the right. Band wearing yellow clothing is on one of the ends, either band 1 or band 5. Band from Switzerland likes ale beer. So, good old Switzerland goes in position 1. Blah blah blah. Band with purple clothing is from Switzerland. We go here. And what was it? Yellow clothing is at one of the ends. That goes right at the end in 5. band that likes porter beer is immediately before the band from Italy. And we only have 2 beers left, Porter, Pilsner. And that means Italy is band 5. And Bulgaria is band 4. Lovely. Band started in 95 is next to the heavy metal band. So that's either 5 or 3. We don't know. Trash metal band is immediately before the band that started in 2015. Ooh, that could be 3, 2, or 1. And trash and 2015 could be 2, 3, or 4. Black Clothing is 1980. Gothic band immediately after the band that started in 2015. So, Gothic immediately after 2015. There we go. Black Clothing started in 1980. That's either 3 or 4. White Clothing is somewhere between the started in 2000 and the band wearing red clothing. Red is either 4 or 3. Black Clothing likes heavy metal. That means band 3 is red. This would be... Was it Trash Rock? Band started in 95 is next to the heavy metal band. We don't know. Trash metal band is before the band that started in 2015. Oh my. So, trash metal and then progressive rock. Black band is 1980. There we go. 2005 is one of the ends. And 95. There we go. That is 3 done. Right, those were 3 zero puzzles. There were more, but I could not do them in a timely manner, let alone without a pen and paper at my side. So, we will take our 3 W's and call it a day there. Right. Now it's time for my thoughts. This series was incredibly fun. I think I was able to break out of my shell. I remember watching some of the older videos when... Not older videos. I say older videos. Well, it's like 50 days old now. Some of the first videos I posted of this series, I was very much more reserved. I was a bit awkward, and I think I've grown to be better at this whole video making thing. So, again, thank you for bearing with me. I do say it at the end of everything, but I mean it. It's always fun. Man, 50 days has gone so fast. It's wonderful. It's wonderful indeed. These puzzles were very fun, and I love doing them. But it's time to move on to other things in this channel. Maybe I'll come back to them, but I want to spread my wings and fly. I was working on a script earlier today for a video I want to post, a bit different than... Well, everything's a bit different than what I normally post. I normally just post these. But it's nice. And I've learned so much from the past 50 days in terms of editing, in terms of content creation, in terms of short making, in terms of just entertaining. And it's absolutely lovely. Thank you for letting me take these stepping stones to the future. Because the experience I built over the past 50 days will remain invaluable. But more than that, it'll just keep a smile on my face. And I really appreciate that. Wow. I can't believe it. It feels like it's been so short. But it is what it is, and man. Oh man, that is just... I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. Whew. So much fun. So much enjoyment. Scorn, the praise, the everything about it. Everything I said about myself and everything I've done. I've grown so much as a puzzle solver. I've grown so much as a person even. Right. I'm rambling in circles here. But it's becoming real to me that this is the last one of these videos I'll do, at least for a while. So, one last time, let me thank you for everything, for bearing with me this series, for watching it, whenever you watched it. Your time was always appreciated, and I hope I allowed you to spend it well. And let us hit us with the favorite ending. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. For the last time, see ya. And enjoy whatever I do in the future. Thank you.